A little sooner than anticipated, but all good. So we are short on a couple tables here. Just took a little bit of a bad beat in this SMPO event, 6 max one. Open button with king 10 suited, but big blind defends, flop, ace king, deuce or something like that. Check check, turn brick, he bets half pot, I call. River 10, so we make second and third pairs. He pots it, I just call, and he has ace 10. So bit of a cooler run out there. Kind of got too outer to lose the maximum. I'm folding on basically every other river card, unimproved. But so be it. And this one up here, we lost like a three-way all-in with pocket jacks, where we covered both players, but both players ended up having they had like ace 10 and king jack, and both players ended up beating us. So that was no good. Blind versus blind. At the stack depth, we just have to go all in. Good news is we increase our stack by 20% if we win. Oh man, interesting board. Yeah, not good for us. Well, that was a quick little bust out. Gotta fill something. Find something else to fill those shoes. Looks like there's a little turbo to run here. Get that set up in a sec. So yeah, pretty standard jam, pretty standard call off, and we don't win. See if I can get the chat displayed here for you guys. While not timing out of every table, preferably. This new table is just a 3K guaranteed turbo, but it's also only $11, so pretty good value in my opinion. Pretty good value here to call him and raise with the pocket eights reasonably deep. Especially with antes in play. Pretty much just set mining. Early stages, deep stacks can be kind of hard to really play them profitably a different way. I forgot to change my stream name. So we get a free look in the big blind here with the ace-8, and Looks like we get checked through on the flop and also pick up a flush draw, so just gonna bet small there. You're gonna stab. Always weird in these blind versus blind spots to get raised when they shouldn't really have much, but I think I just have to give him credit, especially at that size. There's just not much fighting I can do. And I think this player called one street. I think we can go for some small river value. Maybe some 9x we'll call. Occasionally weaker ace-x as well, but he just folds, which is fine. We have aces, kings, and jacks simultaneously. This one's a clear all-in though, against an under the gun open. Get to min open the aces against short stacks. That's nice. And we get to 3-bet the kings against a very aggressive opponent who's probably not going anywhere, so I go a little bigger on the 3-bet. And we get it all in against ace-jack with the jacks and turn him dead, so that's cool. Almost back up to starting stack though, so don't get too excited. Nice to hold. Nice to hold with aces. And here against this kind of opponent, I'm just doing a biggest street on the flop, make it easy to get in on the turn. Wow, really weird to get check jammed on here by the pre-flop raiser. Not really sure what I want to do yet. Let's clear some other tables decisions first. And you guys might see, I actually, when I'm multi-tabling, I kind of will sometimes make some really quick decisions on other tables. Like that queen jack offsuit, I could have maybe 3-bet instead. There are definitely some options there, but sometimes I like to just keep things simple. Now this is a, what buy-in is this? Because sometimes it affects what I do. A 22, so people are spazzing a lot more, that's for sure. But that being said, they could definitely check jam aces. Could also check jam like the nut flush draw. Worst case scenario, I probably have 5 outs. Block top set, which is probably the most likely value hand, but he could have 9-8 is the only thing. It's a pretty big jam, which usually makes me want to call a little bit more. Oh man, I hate calling off my stacks in weird spots. Well, it's not quite my stack, but almost. This guy's 0 and 0 in 12 hands. It's not really a sample, but it certainly leans us toward thinking he's not getting super far out of line pre. Probably remove some 9-8 from his range then. Maybe only suited 9-8. 9-8 of diamonds specifically. Seems likely. So we're right on the call and then just immediately punish on the turn, which is, you know, feels like my life this week, but at least we were right, I guess. So far today has been the day of starting every table out well below starting stack, although we are at least above starting on one table. Welcome, Dark Master Joey, Poker Medic, to the Twitch chat. Good to see you guys. Poker Medic, good luck in your tournament, man. Man, there's a lot of good tournaments running right now. There's a 162 going. I want to see how far they are into this. It'd be a nice one to have. Oh, it's a turbo. Not super about entering toward the top of my buy-in range when it's a turbo. Even though I mean, I'm plenty. Actually, that might have been a jam. Would have been plenty confident doing it, but in terms of skill, it's just that late regging a turbo. Not really gonna be doing that super often. What is this? That was just a limp. Yeah, let's go for an ISO. Yeah, so we're not gonna enter that 162, even though I think it's probably a pretty good value. So there's a few more things on the rotation tonight we could enter if we bust something, but we got 6 tables going for now, so that's all good. Binds range from 11 to 109. I think I'm still in the 109. Yeah, this is the 109. So that's good. Remember, if you guys are new to the Twitch stream, make sure you hit that follow button so you can see me when I go live, and consider turning on notifications. Man, I think getting this price, I'm gonna peel with the suited connectors. Flop gigantic. Depending on his sizing, we could check jam potentially the 10-9 suited. But I think we're usually check raise calling it off against the small size. He checks though and pick up a 9. I think it's probably time to start bluffing, potentially get him off of 10s through queens by the river. Although that might be a tall, I was gonna say a tall order. It's no small task, that's for sure. Yeah, to be clear, I'm not value betting here. It's kind of a weird card. Also, he has less chips than I was kind of realizing. So I kind of screwed up my sizing here. I think I might have at least like a little bit of showdown value against like ace queen type hands. And he might not fold queens and jacks like he calls so that he can get to this exact spot and call twice. It's just really weird now if he like bets, because then it just feels like pocket sevens or something weird that he shouldn't really have, but he might have. Or does he just like go for thin value with pocket kings, you know? It's a weird spot no matter what. It almost feels like he's more likely to have ace queen if he does bet, and he's more likely to have jacks and queens if he checks behind. Ace king, for real? Wow, I wish I'd hit. I was getting paid for sure. The good news is, I think if we jam, we're getting snapped by that exact hand. So, I'm glad we didn't jam. Alright, let's see where we're at with this YouTube chat. I'm only just getting fired up here, guys, so... I apologize if I'm a little bit behind for hanging out. Should change the name on this one too, huh? I'm annoyed that it is always called simulcasting with Restream, but there might be a way to change that. What's up, Thomas, Joe, Raymond, Joseph, Kit Kat Girly, and DG in the YouTube chat? What's going on, guys? Kit Kat Girly Girl asks if I'm still in Columbia. Nope, not anymore. Technically a Baltimore address now, but a little bit on the outskirts, not in the city. Effectively in the suburbs. Alright, well, after a somewhat misfire on this table with the 10-9 of diamonds, we're going to get another chance out with ace king suited. Can't complain about that. Can't conjure up many worse boards than this. I mean, it's not a horrible board to c-bet, but as far as equity for our hand, it's not doing great against two blinds calling, so I'm just gonna check. Yeah, we could just throw it away. Oh, they just gotta tease this on the river. This is the teasing stream, I guess. Hey guys, I played a lot with the audio settings today, so hopefully the mix is better. I found that I'm so used to hearing my voice at this point, I often don't really need the volume to be that loud of my own voice, so hopefully the mix is a little better today. I tried to err on the side of music quiet and me loud, but let me know what you guys are able to hear here. Here? That was English, I swear. Oh man, my Twitch didn't update. It's posting that I'm deep in the $162 something or other. Like, that's not right. Oops. Man, I'm just misposting everywhere. There we go. MTT Grind Hangout, that's what we got going on today, guys. No jackpot setting goes. If I start to get, you know, deep in something and I've only got a couple events up, we're just gonna chill. We're gonna let the vibe marinate What's up, Tim Jenkins? T Jenks 910 hanging in the Twitch chat. Good to see you back, man. So far, not much to report. As much as we're running, we are reasonably deep stacked in most of these events still. Not too short in anything, not too deep into anything. Poker Medic asks, where's your better half during all of this streaming? Typically, she is in bed by the time I start streaming, or on her way there, so for the most part, I'm always up later than her anyway. So the streaming just kind of fits into that. When you work at home, you don't really get on like a up at 5 a.m. kind of schedule usually. Let's see if we can get a tweet out here, get some folks to hang out on the stream. Oh man, weird spot, but I think at this depth we just kind of have to go with this hand. The player who opened isn't going to always have a premium, so we'll sometimes be ahead. Occasionally we'll get folds, and we'll usually have pretty decent equity even if called. Ahead this time. Still ahead. Still ahead. That's the double we've been looking for. What is that? Almost 20 blinds now for 4 more minutes. That's good enough for me. It's a good emoji for chilling, guys. Like snowflake. I feel like that might get mixed signals. Is there like a snowstorm emoji? Oh, there we go. There's a lot of snow stuff here. There's a snowman. Let's chill, guys. I don't know why the undertitle keeps being wrong on Twitter, though. That's kind of annoying. Did it update? No, it didn't update. Why didn't it update? If anybody knows why my undertitle is not updating when I post my Twitch URL to Twitter, let me know, because I would love to fix that. Mathis Jansen in the YouTube chat asks what my average buy-in is. It's mostly around, it's like hovering between 25 and 35 for the most part. I mostly play the 22s through the 55s. I play some 11s that have big guarantees, and I play some of the bigger buy-ins when the timing works out well for me. Button opens, small blind calls. We are in the big blind. I think ripping this in is very reasonable. We got a bit over 20 bigs and a situation where a bunch of people can be a little bit wider. No reason to think that they have premiums here. And we even put like some better hands in tough spots. Like ace 10 might call off, but isn't like excited about it. Definitely don't love seeing him rejam. But we're not always crushed either. Sometimes call with king queen, I'll sometimes call with small pocket pairs. I don't know why that took so long. Was he trying to get the other guy in, or? Oh, Suck Out City. That's a dirty one. That's a dirty one for a decent stack, too. What are we? We got over 40 bigs now. All right. I hope that's the stream tonight, man. Just like putting dirty ones on everybody. Certainly would be a nice change of pace from last stream for anyone who was there. That means we are only short in one tournament still. That's very fun. 15 bigs. Granted, I do wish we weren't short in any tournament, but it's just an unrealistic hope. Chris Brand in the chat. Is that the Chris Brand? No way, man. I don't believe that is Chris Brand Poker. Chris with a 1 for the I. I'm skeptical, man. But if it is the real Chris Brand, I feel like I've just achieved something, some sort of status here. I remember the first time I played with Chris Brand. Might be the only time. We were playing 2-5 at Maryland Live, and he sat down, very nonchalant. It was very low-key table, chill atmosphere, and I'm sure he was just trying to get in the zone, get ready to play and everything. And just, of course, I had to be that guy. I was like, "Haven't I seen you on TV?" And that was that. I think we're also going with this hand, 15 bigs. It's might be a little light, but these aren't the kinds of spots where I'm gonna pass on close spots, especially in the 22s. Like, just kind of gonna pump and dump, pump or dump. It's kind of a weird phrase for this. Getting tanked is always good. Always good to see. Fading the snap call is like wonderful feeling. He does fold, which is obviously fine. It's probably the ideal outcome. Actually, in a lot of situations, that's the ideal outcome. I'm gonna go for a small 3-bet here with the ace queen against under the gun. It's kind of weird, but I don't mind just kind of seizing initiative. And I don't have to put in so much of my stack. Like, if I get 4-bet here, I do feel fairly comfortable folding, unless it's like a tiny size. You just don't see a lot of people jamming ace jack or even stuff like 8s here. Both call. Probably forced to throw in a small c-bet here and evaluate turn, depending on who's called, how many calls. A little bigger than that, shall we? That's a pretty fortunate turn. Can still check though. And now we can go for one street here. Fortunately, we did get called with ace queen here. I expect that's usually going to be something like 10s, jacks. I mean, he can have like 9s, 8s, 7s probably too, because of how I sized it actually. So I think we can probably barrel off, and this wouldn't be the worst hand to do it with, since we do block queens. Although queens might just auto 4-bet us as well, so that might not matter. We go a little on the small side so that if we decide to jam river, we can go a little bigger. We certainly put every pocket pair that's not a boat into a pretty bad spot by barreling turn and river. It's weird because I don't really know if we need to barrel turn and river. Nice to get a fold there when I say we should be getting folds. We got a couple comments and questions in the Twitch chat here. I Love NPR says, what's the strategic difference between zone and regular cash tables? I mean, honestly, it's been a really long time since I've grinded cash on Ignition or Bovada, so I don't want to talk too much about that, and I don't want to lead anybody astray, but what I sort of remember is that zone was always a little bit nittier, a little more kind of reg heavy in terms of the types of play and stats you would see, and yeah, I mean, it's like there's only so many adjustments you can make without just kind of playing it and getting used to it. So yeah, I guess just kind of get in there, get your feet wet. Biggest strategic difference is just that there's no history. So in the regular tables, you at least have history from hand to hand, just not session to session. Apparently Brad, Owen, and Andrew Nemi are having a meetup game at a card room in Austin. Sounds fun, man. You should go. Meetup games are awesome. You were at the Vegas one at the Westgate, if I remember correctly. We got to chill for a little bit. You saw me run like God. Actually, that was a crazy session. Shout out to Day Lethal and I Love NPR in the Twitch chat. We're on the MTT Grind, the multi-table tournament grind today. And it's going to be a lot of days like that, I think, coming up, because I've really been enjoying it. And it's great practice. Great practice for the live streets. I think we got an ISO here, but I don't need to go 3x, I don't think. I just kind of want to get this player heads up. He's over 17 hands, he's playing 35-6, so not a sample, but enough to say he's going to be pretty passive, probably pretty loose pre. So I'm more raising to get him heads up than to blow up the pot. I don't really need to blow up the pot with King Queen. Day Lethal in the Twitch chat asks if I'm full-time now. I started watching your vids a couple of months ago. So I'm not full-time playing in terms of hours, but I do work for a poker training site called School of Cards. You can feel free to go check out schoolofcards.com if you want. We have poker courses online, and I also do work for Beyond Tells, which is a poker training class that focuses on live behavior, nonverbal behavior at the poker table. So feel free to go check those out if you're interested in that. But if not, yeah, feel free to just hang out with us on stream. I'm over here timing out with pocket sixes on the button. Like it's my job. Like it's my job. We're to get check raised here. He's been pretty aggro, so I think we're just going with it. At this depth, I do think I prefer a jam to a call. Just get his draws to pay off, or his weird Queen X that is almost drawing dead by the turn. So that's a fun spot against a fun player, and we are gonna hopefully play many more hands with him. Although maybe not many more if he keeps punting it in with top pair and a very weak kicker. Let's get into the YouTube chat here. I haven't been posting very much. Man, people are really going for the caps today in the YouTube chat. Brian Thurston in the YouTube chat asks if I've still been running. You know what? It's been really intermittent lately. Basically non-existent. The main thing has been just that since moving and then going to Vegas, which happened within like basically a month of each other, just about. It was hard to maintain that habit. So I do want to pick it back up, but so far I've been doing just like some small exercises wow, I can't speak English. Some small exercises at home. Trying to just stay active, like with a little bit of yoga, not really going too crazy. Haven't been having a little bit of back pain, so not doing anything too crazy at this point. I do want to get back into running though. Once I get to know the area better, I tend to feel more comfortable like running. So this table, it checked to me, and this was a pre-flop razor. I don't expect him to check over pairs really ever. So, and I think with our button call, we rep the board the best, aside from maybe the big blind. Big blind super loose passive, so getting 2 calls really sucks though. I think the turn card is a little bit of a mixed bag as far as us being able to bluff. It's certainly a card that we would continue betting a 9 on, but it also decreases the likelihood that we could have a 9. So we should see. Got another question here in the YouTube chat from the select team. Mike Howard, any plans on playing the Moneymaker Tour at Maryland Live? Yes, I will be there. 100%. I will definitely be there. I'll definitely be filming some stuff. I'll definitely be hanging out at least a couple of the days, because I think it's going to be multiple days. I think it's just a little too likely that this player in the big blind, who's pretty loose passive, can have a 9. So I'm just going to give up. Kind of annoying, but we also have a really good hand to do it with, to just say, okay, we have no showdown value and whatever. Weird when it gets checked to us again. I'm just really horrified that they both have like ace high, but some of the ace high also improved and might not even fold, so I'm still just giving up. Yeah, I don't think pocket sevens was ever folding. Maybe if we had gone 3 big streets, but not with how the action went down on the turn. Shout out to Adam Mock in the YouTube chat. It says, good luck from Australia, mate. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Any luck I can receive, particularly from down under, because it feels like it was sent from so far away. It's gotta be extra good. I appreciate it. Good tournament question in the Twitch chat comes from Nervous. Asks, how much does a bounty affect your tournament? Depends on a lot of factors. Depends on like what the structure of the payouts is and how big the bounty is compared to the buy-in. Also depends on your opponents and like how much they think about it. That's probably more important than how much it affects your actual play. But there are situations in bounty tournaments where you can start to call off very wide, particularly earlier in the tournament, because of the bounties and because you're so far from the money. Tournament I played recently was a bounty tournament. I actually ran up a stack in it, which allowed me to take a lot of very thin equity spots because of the bounties and because I had a stack where winning or losing the chips wasn't super critical to my decision, but winning the bounty did play in. So that was a pretty cool spot. Wow, this table I have somehow played 26 hands and VPIP'd 0. So let's change that with this one. I don't think we need to 4x. Actually, at this stack depth, I wonder if I just want to jam. I think it's going to work like a ridiculous amount of the time. Oh man, Trebendo getting scolded by Nightbot for spammed emojis, spammed emotes. I don't actually know. Oh man, can we unban him? There's no reason to ban him. Unban Trabendo days. I'm gonna see if I can change those settings because I don't really care if people are doing a few emotes. It's sort of absurd. Where are my mods at? Do I got any mods in here yet? Oh man. Oh no. We're just testing the limits now, guys. Good to know. Alright, so we get 3-bet with the 3s here, and we're obviously not deep enough to set mine. And it doesn't seem like we have a profitable jam when the guy puts in like 30 to 40% of his stack. And he hasn't been very aggro pre either, so we'll just give it up. Appreciate you guys trying to bring a little fun to the chat with the emotes. I'll see if there's a way for me to update Nightbot on the spam filters, but I'm not sure. Oh, here we go. Spam protection. Yeah, I'll have to dig into that a little bit. Definitely don't want to have guys banned like all the time in chat. Yeah, sorry guys if Nightbot's a little strict. I'm still kind of playing with it, figuring out what is the best for it. Looks like I can update some of these levels. So excess caps, number of caps posted before, you'll get punished for it. Punishment. I'll bump that up to 15. But you know, go easy, guys. Just go a little chill on it. We got an interesting spot here. We only have 16 big blinds. Sucks to put into. I think this is just a fold. Rejamming could potentially be good, but I'd rather it be a later position open. And also kind of prefer a couple more big blinds because we're just not giving that bad of a price. Alright, and excess emotes. Let's see if we can up that to like 6. Does 6 seem reasonable? I did update the emotes, guys. You can do up to 6 now, but you know, just keep it classy in there. Trabendo Days asked if there's any chance of me being at Running Up Reno. I don't even know when that is, so probably not. I do have some travel upcoming in both the end of August here on Friday, and September and October. So we'll have to see. Probably if it's any time in there, I probably won't be doing it. Hoping to get back out to LA at some point. Before end of year, hopefully. But we'll have to see. And Pocket Fours is looking like this might be our jam opportunity, especially over Limp. And this guy, by the way, only 7 hands, but 86-43 in 7 hands. So definitely a slam dunk jam. Certainly not always getting the fold, but we'll always be in good shape. Bad to get rejammed on though by the blind. Yeah, that's not too shocking. That's what happened, guys. You find good spots, and sometimes there's people behind you with a better hand. It's just is what it is. At least that was a small one. 3K guaranteed turbo, 10K chips. I mean, we never really got much going in that one. Actually, I don't want to auto fold this table because if it folds to me, we can open jam against the big blinds stack size. could just fold against an open though. I think against this big open, I'm just going to fold. I would consider 3-bet jamming if it was a min open, since the guy does appear to be opening a reasonable amount from the cutoff. Pretty annoying facing this jam, but this guy has been fairly tight, so I don't feel the need to call off just a random suited king. Kind of similar here. Although that guy who just 3-bet jammed on us has been fairly 3-bet happy so far. He's 3-bet 4 out of 21 opportunities, which is 19%. I don't have any further information than that, but certainly leans me toward thinking he's getting a little out of line. Getting a little bit in the mix. This guy shoves about 13-ish bigs. I think we're definitely going with this, especially when you look at the stacks behind, and I am just gonna rip it into ISO. Catch about the worst flop possible. Worst run out possible. But, you know, sometimes you lose flips every day, you know, I mean, sometimes your day, you lose all the flips. It's just how it is. Remember, if you guys are in the YouTube chat here, remember to follow me on Twitch. If you're only following me on YouTube, go over to twitch.tv/mevpoker. Follow me there. And I'm gonna, sorry, I got sidetracked by the chat, sorry. I'm gonna be doing a lot more streaming, but it's probably mostly gonna be on Twitch. Just because I think that's a better platform for streamers. Anyway, I think YouTube's great for a lot of things, but oh, good question in the YouTube chat here that I'll get into after we jam it in with Ace Queen, and probably also get it in over here. We get it through with Ace Queen, but probably also getting it in here against like the 12 big blind. Well, it's weird that he opens the 3x, which is half a stack. Maybe I can just exploitively fold here. Can he ever just be super tight in this spot only? Ugh. I'm just not sure that we can really avoid putting it in here. It's just weird having to ISO. I guess we don't have to ISO very big. We can just min ISO. Seems reasonable. Anyway, we got a question in here from Camp is Mike in the YouTube chat. When you say a player is 1436, well, that wouldn't be possible. But what stats is that correlating to? So the stats I would be talking to about there would be VPIP and PFR, which are voluntarily put money in pot, and pre-flop raise, which basically means what percentage of hands do they voluntarily go to the flop with. So like they limp in, they raise, they call, raise, etc. And then PFR is just the raising portion of that. Now, this is pretty dirty. I think we can just fold. It just sort of sucks that I played it the way I did, and the big blind probably here just woke up with a better hand. 11K into getting about 2-1, but I don't think we have the equity here. Wow, of course. I mean, pretty often one of them is going to have an ace and one of them is going to have a pocket pair, but nope, we just would have smashed it this time. That really sucks. That really sucks. Brandon Glasgow in YouTube chat asked if I ever played in San Diego before. Nope. Never played in San Diego, never played at 7 Mile. And I do hope to at some point. Just not really sure when. Getting really tired of just folding here, but not much chance to do otherwise. I'm gonna hop in this $82 Thousandaire Maker again. I haven't won it yet. But I also don't think I've entered it in the early stages before, so coming in short is always a little bit rough in this sort of a structure. So we're gonna come into it fully stacked. Also, you start out very short, just 2,500 in chips. So let's get that table up and running. 30, 60 blinds. So yeah, coming in with just about 40 bigs. And kind of a weird stacked up with the ace king. I almost just want to jam it. We have under 30 bigs. I do think jamming is probably fine. It's just like never really bad to jam it, is the main thing. Ace is on the button with a short stack. Let's hope for some action here. Get a walk. Okay, well, bit of a cooler here. See if we can win a flip. We win a flip. Shout out to Josh Wallen in the YouTube chat. Hitting it up with a super chat, I believe. Says Matt Vaughn is the second GOAT. Second greatest of all time. I assume that you are calling the first GOAT Andrew Neeme, which is very understandable because he pretty much is the GOAT. I would be honored to be second GOAT to Andrew Neeme, that's for sure. Awesome guy. Shout out to Obies Kennedy in the YouTube chat. Says, well, I'm not going to repeat what he called me, but he says he seriously loves my videos and he hopes I win Jamin's house. That would be hard to do, man. His house seems pretty great. I'm sitting here with pocket nines and about 12 bigs, waiting other people's actions, but it seems pretty likely we get all the money in here no matter what. It would have to go like jam, rejam for me to even consider doing something else, and I'd probably still consider going in with it. Now we await our fate, and we just get a fold, which is definitely fine. Typically when we're called there, it's either a flip or we're behind. There are a few hands that we're ahead of, like pocket eights, pocket sevens that might call off, but occasionally those will fold. Still sitting on just about 16 bigs here. Don't need to jam the ace-9. It'd be pretty wide. If like everyone behind me was a super net, I would consider it for sure, but no need here. Sorry, I was like mesmerized by this suited queen 3. I don't really know why. Man, this guy's been tight. But facing the button open, and we've only got, what is that, 12-ish big blinds. I think we gotta go with the ace here. Don't think it's that close. And he's just at the top of his range. That sucks. And we're going with the king 9 in the cutoff here as well, with 2 short stacks and a huge